is August 16th, 2022. The time is now 2:05. I call to order the Joint Utilities and Technology and Special Call Committee of the Whole meeting. Good afternoon, councilors.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and we thank the members of the public who have joined us. At this time, councilors, I'd like to ask if you had opportunity to review the minutes, and if so, if we could get a motion and a second to approve the minutes of June 22nd.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Those minutes of June 22nd, 2022 are approved. We don't have any new business today, councilors, but we do have old business in the form of, we're glad to see our representatives here, and they wanted to have this opportunity to talk about ongoing projects and any issues that relate to their different organizations. So we thank you all for being here with us, and we appreciate your presence. At this time, I'm going to just ask our representative of the Waterworks to come and give us an update and provide information for us. And thank you. Good to see you today, Mr.
Good to see you too, and all of you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So I'm sure you've probably known by now that we have been having some challenges with our billing, and particularly with our meter reading department. It kind of started off with us losing a lot of staff at the beginning of the year because of COVID. We had a lot of retirees, and it just kind of put us behind. So we've been working through that with the last several months to get caught up, and through a lot of training and hiring, we are just about there. I'm happy to report at one time, I think it was a couple of months ago, we said that we were at 13,000 customers who had not been billed or had started to receive the multiple bills because of estimation. As of this morning, we're now down to about 2,100. That's about 1% of our customer base, which keep in mind, we'll never be at 0%. That's just not how we operate, because there are certain things that happen to where we are not able to read the meter on a monthly basis, to where the meter is obstructed. Customers sometimes park their cars there, they have dogs there, or some form of fashion that we're never able to read 100% of the meters. So we're just about at our normal rate of operations with that. Along with the changes, we're publicizing a new bill design. We've been working on this for a couple of years now. With this new bill design, it will eliminate the possibility of customers ever receiving multiple bills. All of it will be on one bill. It's a fresher look, it's a cleaner look, easier to understand. We've had some feedback over the years about just the customers being able to clearly understand the bill, separating it from the sewer and their charges and our charges, and then the breakdown on how we actually bill. And so we're really excited about that new bill design, which would debut September 1st. And again, that will alleviate all of the issues that we've been seeing as far as customers saying, well, I got a bill today and got another bill later this week. And, all of that was because the system was designed to spit out a new bill every time they got a read, whether we estimated and then came back with a current and correct read, and then they got to correct the bill. And so we understand how confusing that could have been for the customer. So we're excited about that bill design. We put out a lot of information. We sent letters to our elected officials talking about the progress of what we've been making. And we really think that's important, because all of you play a key part in helping us communicate these things to our customers, your constituents, and we really appreciate that. I've talked to several of the council members, and just to let you know again, if there are any questions that you're getting from from our customers, your residents, please just direct them to our office. We want to make sure that we're answering those questions best as possible. But I'm just really happy that we are now at the point to where we're, I would say, just about caught up on those readings and moving back to normal operations. Our next big thing that we have working on, which we would be putting out a lot of communication, you'll see, is we're entering budget season and preparing for the 2023 budget. And so, as you know, we have a public hearing in the fall, and we're planning on doing other things as well to kind of get the public involved well before we finalize that budget. A lot of you probably have seen me send out a lot of construction projects, and that's good news as well. That means we're out working. We're trying to get as many of those done as possible before this budget season is over. As you know, the board invests $30 million into main replacement. And we really, really think that's a very important thing on our list because if we see less breaks, we have less issues, we don't have to go and tear up the road a lot. We're just trying to make sure that our infrastructure is viable for many, many years to come. So we appreciate the council for working with us and continuing to work with us, and I'll take any questions.
Thank you. Councilors, do you have any questions? Councilor Quinn?
Got a couple of questions. So we hear a lot nationally about aging water infrastructure and how that relates to, potential harmful exposure, to folks whose homes are supplied by old pipes. Has the Waterworks done an assessment of those potential, risk in the city? I mean, kind of how, is that something that some neighborhoods should be concerned about in the city of Birmingham, or for the whole footprint of Birmingham Waterworks?
Gotcha. So, no, that's a great question. We have some mains in the ground in some areas that are over 100 years old. And so, yes, the conversations come up, whether on a national scale, as you mentioned, it's lead in the pipes. And we do have customers who, come to us with those concerns. And so what we're doing with a lead removal process that's nationwide, and we're required to do it by ADEM and the Environmental Protection Agency, we're going in to remove those that could potentially have lead because of the age of the pipe. Not saying that we've seen traces, because we keep a good eye on that. So anytime that we're going in to remove those, we test the pipes as we remove them to make sure that there aren't any harmful contaminants. And what we're doing is leaving those residents information about the lead removal process. And we're also just going an extra step to give them water filters and water pitchers just in case they're uneasy about the water. But of course, at any point, any time, we are required by federal regulations to issue boil water alerts or anything, if it's anything that could potentially be harmful to our customers in the consumption of the water, we're required to do so. So a lot of our customers, they were asking, well, why are you sending out the water pitchers? That's just an extra layer to give our customers some type of security to know that, if you're not comfortable while we're removing this process, because sometimes, as you know, when we're flushing the system or the fire departments are flushing the system, the water could be discolored sometimes. And so when you're moving pipe in the ground, you may see a small phase of discoloration. But no, we don't have, or we hadn't seen any cases to where there's any potential for harm for consumption of the water. But we are removing a lot of those areas in the neighborhoods with the lead pipes. And so any of the customers or residents who are receiving those pictures, it's not saying that the water is harmful in your neighborhood. It's just saying we're removing the pipes that could potentially have lead in them because of the age.
Yeah, so that would include everything up to the meter, right? And so, now I'm thinking, okay, what's between the meter and the house? And I don't even have a clue as to how, homeowners would potentially know that. So
because, and also another good question, so we are responsible for the meter and the pipe that goes to the street. The homeowners, they're responsible for the service line that goes to their homes. And there are older homes that will probably need to replace their piping. And if we see that when we go out to remove the old pipe in the ground, they'll alert the homeowner to let them know the next steps for removing that. So that's all a part of the communication process that we're doing. So we're alerting those customers who could potentially, or we say, hey, it's probably time that we talk about removing, or you remove your service line. We're doing this part, but because of the age of your home, it's probably a good idea for you to have that replaced as well. And on to that point, that can be very costly to the customers, very costly. And so we always push Home Serve, which is like an insurance line on your service line. A lot of our customers benefit from that. We have a lot of customers who have older homes. If you're in your house or your home is over 30 years old, we absolutely recommend that, because with just paying the $5 or $6 a month, I know the price may have changed, they'll cover up to $10,000 on removing that service line for our customers. And so we really, because a lot of them are confused as to what's their responsibility, we wanted to partner with an insurance for those customers for their convenience and let them know that this is something that's important, and you never know when you're going to have to remove your service line or have a break in your service line.
Yeah. Just one additional question. So, myself and members of my staff drive First Avenue North pretty much on almost daily basis. And over the past several years, we've noticed a spot right there in front of the service center on First Avenue North that's chronically wet. Whether it's, been raining or we're in the middle of a 2-month-long drought. The road condition has deteriorated there. I suspect that it's not a natural spring. Can you provide any insight as to what's going on there?
What I say, I look back at my communications coordinator, because we talk about this all the time. It's a pain, more so for her too. She, anyway, it's just not a good PR. It's not a good PR look for us to have that puddle of water right in front of the waterworks. But that is not because of a broken main. It actually has to do with sewer and wastewater, and that is something that they've been going back and forth with. I think the county to try to get corrected, and sometimes when it rains, it backs up there, just as underneath the overpass that floods around the corner on 35th Street, Messer Airport, I would say. It's the same issue. So when it rains, it backs up just right there. And I know we've been in talks to try to get that corrected with them, but it's not necessarily our issue. It looks bad in front of the waterworks, but it's not.
Yes, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we can provide some assistance in that
We will
regard.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you, Dr. O'Quinn. Any questions, Councilor Williams? Or comments?
Well, it sounds like that the billing issue is getting resolved. I know that that has been a constant complaint to my office. Really, definitely every week, maybe every day, maybe not every day, but very consistently. And it has been very confusing. I don't really understand. I heard what you said. I still don't really understand how we got in that situation. But it sounds like it's getting resolved. One thing that I found interesting is that you said that every bill could not be read every month. Mm-hmm. Is the waterworks standard practice. And so I guess I don't really understand that. No,
well, so to clarify, what I was saying is that just as a normal running any utility, there are times, and specifically in the water industry, where because we have manual reads and we have to go out to read the meters, customers will park their cars over their meters and they're not able to read them, or they know the time that our meter readers would go out. And so we had issues to where they would tie their dog right there, the pit bulls or anything to keep us from reading the meters. That's just on a normal, just 30-day cycle. And so if it happens again, then we have to let the customer know that, we haven't been able, and that in those instances we have to estimate to still be able to bill them. But we can only go so long before we let the customer know that if you are not allowing us to read the meter, then we'll have to end up killing the service at the main, which is very expensive for them to reinstate service. And that happens every 30 days. That just happens. And sometimes a lot of times it's just accident. So they may have a guest come over, or but people park their cars over their meter all the time, and it causes us not to be able to read the meters. And so those are instances where I say, with any given month, you'll never have 100% of the meters read throughout our service area. That's just how it goes. Yeah. Okay. So with the infrastructure bill coming online, what have you guys? And I know that there was joint meetings for a while. Do you guys have a plan outside of just those joint meetings that were taking place? Yes. So our executive team, they've been working really hard on making those requests and making them very clear as to what our needs are. And I know more information about that will be coming out within the next few weeks as we start to present our preliminary budget for the first time. I think maybe early part of September. So they're going to start talking about that information too and where we are with it. And also, we've had the WIFIA loan, which will go towards our infrastructure and any projects that we have pertaining to water mains or big construction projects that we're working on. So yes, to answer your question, our executive team has been meeting. They have clear-cut requests as to what our needs are, what we're asking for, but we just don't have a definite answer as to what we will be getting, or if anything yet.
So who are the requests being made to?
That I'm not really specifically sure on, but I can get that to you. Yeah.
I would assume that they would want the council's support.
Well, yes, we've made. I know that we've been involved with the county for sure, and we made a request to the county. But yes, absolutely, we'll be coming for support on every avenue we can to get money.
Okay.
Got it, Councilor?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for this report. I do want to say, echo, I think what both councilors have been saying as far as just comments from residents. Just wanted to be sure there's clarity, so I appreciate you coming today to give that information. I do want to say, though, on behalf of the residents, most of those that have called our office and they have spoken to us about conversations they've had with you, they've been pretty much assured at this point you are not cutting off service.
Right.
Is that correct?
That is correct. I'm glad you brought that up too. So we're still not disconnecting service, but we are telling our customers, and this problem has been resolved now, but the question that came up several months as to, I haven't received my bill, so do I not pay my bill? Yes, you still pay what an average bill would be for your household, or they can call the reps and then we can give them an average if there hadn't been a bill. We're past that point now, but we do have several customers who are delinquent because they haven't paid the bill in some time. And so we still encourage all of our customers to, call us and let's start to make payments again, get back in the routine of making payments, because there will come a time where we have to collect again. Don't know when that's going to happen, and that will be a process because we know that we have a significant amount of our customers who are delinquent, and we don't want people to be without water. And so we will work with our customers, but the biggest thing is at some point the balance will still be there, and we do bill every month. And so we know many of them are on fixed incomes, and we just really don't want to put them in a financial bind when it is time to pay your bill.
All right, thank you very much. And just one last question or comment. I do know that we all receive questions or inquiries, especially if there's water running or something like that. Can you give us a number just for the residents that are watching or listening? Thank you.
Yes, so our main customer service line is 244-4000, and at any time, even if it's after hours, the recording can send you to someone to report main breaks or water outages that are emergency. And if it's anything community related, I know we get a lot of questions about that too. And particularly, I know that a lot of the neighborhood associations are meeting again. We ask that you contact our public relations office directly, and that phone number is 244-4225. And we will be glad to come out and answer any questions they may have, or whether individual, collectively. We just want to make sure that we're communicating everything we can possibly to make sure our customers are in good position.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we will be sure to post these numbers for our residents.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the questions.
Thank you for the update. Next, I do see that we have our representative from Spectrum. So come on up and give us an update. Good to see you today.
Good to see you. Again, I want to see the council. I've seen you all once today.
That's right.
All right. I'm Robert Smith, Government Relations for Charter Spectrum, and thank you for having me. Glad to be here with you. Don't have a lot that's new, but what we're doing is continuing to improve on what we offer. And what we offer, we've been offering. We're maintaining and improving our network, and I say that because technology changes, and we're changing with technology. We have a lot of people now that have moved from being our cable customers to being our broadband customers. So we're hardening that network to make sure that when that tablet, that laptop, that smart TV goes on and those apps are working, that there's enough broadband signal into that home to accompany that. Ironically, my household at times can have 4 or 5 people on 4 or 5 different devices and without failure. And that's what we want to make sure, regardless of the number in the home, that the service is there and the service will be adequate to supply the power to all those devices. So we're doing that. Like I said, maintain those areas. All of our services are stable. Our growing service now is our mobile phone. Mobile phone is growing like leaps and bounds with a good price point that's been very receptive and responsive. We are hiring, a good thing, service techs. So the way my office works, I sit in the cubicle that's right next to a guy that does recruiting for tech ops. And we've got a good opportunity. You know, tech ops, we start new tech ops installers at $20 an hour. They get a 401k, they get a full benefit package, and you know, if they live within the footprint, they have a reduced price on their services. So we've got that going for us. So if anyone's listening, you can go to careers@spectrum.com or just go to Spectrum website and look at careers, and it'll put you in Birmingham, and there's a guy waiting to hear from you there. But a lot of our efforts have been just outside of Birmingham, but I want to share this because it affects our state. We got some funding from the FCC's rural distribution of funds. It's RDOF. And what we did with that RDOF funding was to go into different areas identified by the FCC. The Rural Digital Opportunity Fund is what it's actually called. And we've been working to make sure that anything that surrounds Birmingham and outside of Birmingham that falls into those footprints, they're served. So with that being said, that's kind of an update. We don't have a lot of new things going. We're just making sure what we have, we'll continue to improve it, harden it, and make it work for everybody. And I'll entertain any questions if you have any.
Thank you very much. Councilors, do you have any questions of Mr. Smith? Dr. O'Quinn?
So back in June, I don't think we had a committee meeting in July, but back around June 23rd, we had a constituent contact our office about internet outage in the South Side area, city center area. I can look it up specifically, but I was interested in if you might have any information about that. That was, yes, 20th Street and 2nd Avenue South area.
I don't know. Did it come? Did you send that to me? Did anybody?
We actually, my office forwarded it to Councilor Alexander, and I believe Councilor Alexander's office forwarded it to you.
We'll follow up with that because we did have some communication. We did have a request. I do remember you forwarding that from our office, and we sent it to probably may have been our government liaison team.
Okay. I didn't get that. If I had gotten that, sure, I would have gotten it back to you. Normally, when I get something from you guys, I shoot it back to you within a day or so. So I never got that per se. Now, if that was an outage, I will say this: if that was an outage of any kind, especially back in June, I know that there's a team of, and depending on what the outage was, there's a team that's very responsive to that. That's a team that's very dedicated to that. If there were calls that came in from that group to a customer service group, or if they got us in any capacity, we turn around and work on it. If I get anything from any of you all, and we've all had stuff to come to me, I turn around, try to get the resolution back to you, but I never got anything sent to me on that, so I can't comment. But if you send it to me, I'll find out the date it was actually corrected, because if it was back in June, I'm sure by now it's probably corrected. So
we're just checking. Our communication was it was another provider. It was an AT&T outage. So
no wonder they didn't get it.
Apologize.
That's all right.
All right. But we did send that to AT&T, so we'll follow up with that and be sure they get it. Thank you. Go ahead. Other questions, Dr. O'Quinn?
I believe that's it.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Williams? Counselor.
Thank you. At the 5,000 block of Crestwood Boulevard, and I think it's roughly the 5,000 block of Crestwood Boulevard, there are lines down on the ground. And so I just wanted to bring that to,
5,000 block, 50th Street and Crestwood, somewhere in the neighborhood?
yeah, I think the next turn is around 53rd Street.
Okay.
But it's a couple blocks up,
Yeah.
but you can't miss it.
All right.
Right.
What I'll do with that, we'll contact Tech Ops, Technical
Okay.
Operations, and I'll get them a word this afternoon, have somebody look at it. A lot of times we've had lines, sometimes it's ours, sometimes it's the competitors, and we'll take a look and let you know, and within the next day or so, we'll have somebody
Okay.
go out and do an analysis. I'll let you know, okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate
All right.
it.
Thank you. And Mr. Smith, I just had one question. We have been informing residents about the Affordable Connectivity Program.
I heard you say that today,
Yes,
thanks.
yes, and I just wanted to know Spectrum's involvement in that, or would residents who are serviced by Spectrum, is that a program that?
Yeah, so what it does, the government will give a voucher to seniors, to people on SSI. If you receive any type of free or reduced lunch, some type of support, then the government will give a $30 voucher for you to receive your services. So what we did, we packaged our products to be $29.95, so that it fell right up under that threshold. So if you got the voucher, you qualified for that voucher from the federal government, then that $30 takes care of our $29.95 product. So it's not going to cost anything out of pocket.
And so the residents, they would contact you all directly, or I know acp.gov is also.
You know, I've got a phone number,
All right.
but I'll tell you what I do. I thought I gave it to you once before, but I will send you an email on that, and it'll have the contact number on it. I got the phone number, and I got a number here, which
If you
is,
just give us that phone number, that'd be great for people that are listening.
sure, that number is 877-959-1748. But I will get to you, I send it back to Zola, and she can pass it out, and everybody will have it. But that works fine. We just make sure we stay up under that $30 threshold, so we made it $29.95.
Well, we're very appreciative of you taking that into consideration. I guess it just came back up on my radar, and I do remember that you gave us that, but now it's sort of piqued my interest and want to be sure we get that messaging out as our students and families return back to school and they're in need of those services to help them. We want them to make the best grades they can.
Got to be the best year of their life. That's right.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We
Okay.
appreciate you.
All right, thank you for your
so
time.
much. All right, councilors, we do not have any other representatives to give us any status updates. We did have one or two to let us know that they were in meetings this week and that they would be out of town. So we appreciate them making us aware that they wouldn't be here. Councilors, are there any other business? We don't have any, again, any new business. At this time, I would ask for a motion for adjournment.
All right. Second.
All right, those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all, everyone. Thank you, councilors.
Okay. Yeah.